This video is sponsored by PTCGLstore.com, a great place for you to buy Pokemon TCG code cards. Hey guys, in today's video, we'll be showcasing Alakazam from the Twilight Masquerade expansion set. Alakazam is a stage 2 Pokemon with a very unique attack called Strange Hacking. For 1 Psychic Energy, this inflicts the Confusion special condition on your opponent's active Pokemon, and you may also move any number of damage counters from your opponent's Pokemon to their other Pokemon in any way you like. And what we're going to do today is to deal lots and lots of damage counters to our opponent's Pokemon so that we can move them around and hopefully take all 6 prizes in a single turn. So to help us put lots of damage counters to our opponent, we'll be using ALOLAN RATICATE, more for its attack Super Fang. For 3 colorless energy, put damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon until it only has 10 HP left. One way to power up this attack is with the help of Reversal Energy. This energy usually counts as 1 colorless energy, but if your opponent has taken more prizes than you, this will count as 3 energies of every kind when it is attached to your evolution non-rule box Pokemon. The only downside to this though is that you can't use it until your opponent knocks out at least one of your Pokemon. And what's great about ALOLAN RATICATE is that it is a single prize Pokemon, so even though your opponent knocks it out, you only lose 1 prize. However, there are many ways that we can ensure its survival. One way to do this is by using the Panic Mask tool card. This prevents all damage done to the Pokemon this card is attached to by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon that have 40 HP or less remaining. And since ALOLAN RATICATE reduces HP down to 10, your opponent will be unable to damage our Pokemon. But then we also have the Survival Brace tool card. You can only have 1 A-Spec card in your deck. If your Pokemon with this on has full HP and would be knocked out by damage from an attack, your Pokemon will not be knocked out, but instead will survive with 10 HP remaining, after which you discard this card. This card is so awesome because it basically allows your Pokemon to survive a 1-hit knockout. And what makes it great too is that you can just attach it to one of your Pokemon and it will not get discarded until it gets used up. But before we move on, let's not forget Alakazam's second attack, Psychic. For 1 Psychic Energy, this attack deals 10 plus base damage and 50 more damage for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. And just as a side note, and use this information how you like, but I thought that Abra's Teleporter ability is really neat. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may shuffle it and all attached cards into your deck. For our draw engine, we'll be using Bibarel with the Industrious Incisors ability, which lets you draw cards until you have 5 cards in your hand. And we also have Pidgeot EX with a Quick Search ability, allowing you to search for any 1 card from your deck. This ability is so invaluable that it can help you find the components you need so that we can pull off a lot of good combos. As for the other cards worth noting, we have 1 copy of Lana's Aid, which is good for recovery. This allows you to put up to 3 in any combination of non-rule box Pokemon and basic energy from your discard pile into your hand. And just as an important note, make sure you're not wasting your rare candies since you may need it to evolve into Alakazam more quickly, although we do have 1 copy of the Stage 1 Kadabra in this build. And finally, just make sure you're using your boss's orders and your counter catchers sparingly, or use them wisely since this is what you'll need to target your opponent's Pokemon that you want the HP reduced. So in review, while you may argue that it's better to deal an instant KO when you reduce your opponent's Pokemon's HP with ALOLAN RATICATE and then maybe just poison it to knock it out, but doing it this way with Alakazam is just way more fun to play. I just really love the challenge and the strategy that goes along with this build. You just have to basically figure out your main targets. The higher the HP of the Pokemon, the better, and just figure out how you'll move the damage around to get multiple knockouts. When playing this deck though, just make sure you're managing your resources carefully, and you'll also have a hard time with builds that can move damage around like Munkidori or Radiant Alakazam. But besides all that, this build is very consistent. Anyways, that's pretty much it. You can find the complete deck list in the description below. And now please enjoy the following gameplay videos showcasing Alakazam with ALOLAN RATICATE. Before we get into the video, I have a small request. If you're liking the content I create, please leave a like to this video, and please support this channel by subscribing if you haven't already. This is a small click for you, but for me, it means a lot. Thank you so much for all of your support. Alright, on to our first match. We actually won the coin flip here, but I've decided to go second. I feel like going second is more practical with this build, especially we have a lot of low HP Pokemon to start. And if your opponent can attack on the first turn going second, they could easily knock out our Pokemon. Just like in this instance, we only have ALOLAN Rattata. They knock it out, we'll lose the game right away. But at least going second, it allows us to use our supporter cards like this Arven, which we'll use to get Buddy Poffin and this TM evolution, and we can set up our basic Pokemon and not lose the game basically. Because even if they knock out one of our Pokemon, they're only taking one prize at a time. The only two prizer in this build basically is Pidgeot EX. So with Buddy Buddy Poffin, I think I'm gonna get a Bidoof and Pidgey here. Consistency or draw engines are very essential to the consistency of the overall strategy for this build. So what I'm gonna do is energize Alolan Rattata and use TM Evolution, at least evolve our Bibarel so that we can start drawing extra cards in our following turns. Pidgeot EX, we don't have a stage 1 in this build. We will have to find that Pidgeot EX and use Rare Candy to evolve it. But in this matchup, we're going against Charizard EX. So this is a winnable matchup for sure, as long as we utilize Panic Mask, and also when we reduce Charizard EX's HP down to just 10, we could possibly just spread all those damages around and take multiple knockouts. But they're also using Torkoal, which makes a big difference because it is a one prizer, but it also has lower HP than Charizard EX. So with Artisan available, since my opponent played it, I might as well set up another Alolan Rattata. That way we have consistent attackers. But as of right now, it's a little bit difficult because you can only use the reversal energy if your opponent is ahead in prize. So we have to wait until my opponent knocks out one of our Pokemon. Hopefully not Pidgeot EX. But we're gonna put this Panic Mask on Pidgeot EX. Again, it is a 2-prizer. And once we lower their HP, we should be safe. For now, I'm gonna use Industrious Incisors to draw 3. At least we got one Alolan Eradicate, but I'm not gonna evolve my active because I want my opponent to knock one of our Pokemon out. For the meantime, we can grab another Buddy Buddy Poffin, and I will set up an Abra and another Bidoof. I'm gonna go ahead and use Quick Search for a little bit here. Ensure our draw for next turn. So I'll get an Iono. I don't know if I'll be using that next turn, but we'll see. And I'm just gonna end my turn. I'm just gonna wait for my opponent to set up basically and maybe knock out one of our Pokemon. Okay, they're gonna retreat their Pidgey and put their Torkoal in the active spot. They just need Rare Candy and a Charizard EX or a Pidgeot. They should be able to evolve this turn. But with Jock, they're gonna evolve into Charmeleon and end their turn without attacking. So we have to wait another turn. For the meantime, I'm just gonna evolve into Kadabra. That way, it's gonna be a lot easier for us. We don't need to use Rare Candy. And then I'm gonna evolve at least one of my Alolan Raticate, and I'm gonna use Iono. Maybe that's gonna help out my opponent to set up their Charizard EX. And let's just see what we could do this turn. And with Quick Search, I'm just going to get Super Ride. End my turn. I mean, you could slowly just energize your Alolan Raticate and put 3 energies on it, and then you don't have to wait for your opponent until they knock one of your Pokemon. Alright, and Kadabra also actually has a decent attack. For 1 Psychic Energy, you can deal a lot of damage depending on how many energies are attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. It's basically a weaker version of Alakazam's attack. So finally, my opponent evolves into their Charizard EX and also the Charizard from Pokemon Go that makes each basic fire energy count as 2 fire energy. This one has the potential to one-hit knockout. It depends on how many heads they flip. And they have 3 heads. That's gonna knock out our Alolan Raticate. Now this is where it gets interesting, guys, because we have reversal energy. We have Alolan Raticate available to us. Now we can power it up. And then we're gonna set up another Alolan Rattata because we need to reduce the HP of more than one of our opponent's Pokemon. I'm gonna recover as much as I can here. because we need Alakazam and an energy to move those energies around. So for now, I'm gonna use Counter Catcher. That way we can get this Charizard EX into the active spot, and Super Fang, reducing its HP down to just 10 remaining. They can just retreat it and attack with their Torkoal, and that's fine. We have the means to... Oh, they're gonna target our Kadabra. I think they see through this strategy a little bit. But at least we can set up another one. We have Abra. And I think... I don't know, it's a little bit dangerous to set another one up and they just keep knocking it out. Although we can protect it with Panic Mask. We could do that. Let me go ahead and use Quick Search. And then I will Counter Catcher. I'll get Arvin. That way we can get Panic Mask as well. So Counter Catcher, Panic Mask. Or I could use Survival Brace on Alolan Raticate for the meantime. I mean, we have Lana's for recovery. And then I'll just use Super Fang on their Pidgeot EX. So now there's so much HP that's being reduced on my opponent's Pokemon, and then it's just a matter of time. Find the right moment to spread these damages around, and then we can knock out multiple Pokemon and get multiple prizes as well. The Survival Brace is so awesome. So our Alolan Raticate survives an attack. We survive by 10 HP. We're just gonna use Boss's Orders to target their Charizard. Now reducing its HP down to 10. And let's see here. With Pidgeot EX, it has 270 damage onto it. We just need to add 1 to Charizard EX, 1 to this Charizard. But that puts it down to 250. We'll only knock out 5 Pokemon basically. I don't know if we could do this. So I'm just gonna put my Alolan Rattata in the active spots. Quick Search. We need to evolve into Eradicate. And we're all out of Boss's Orders and Counter Catcher. This is not good because now we can't target another Pokemon. We'll have to start taking knockouts here. But for now, I'm going to just use Roxanne here. And I mean, we got Panic Mask, but they could just retreat and then attack with their Torkoal. That's the problem. And we're all out of Raticate. We need to recover it with Lana's aid at some point. And we need Rare Candy so that we can evolve into another Alakazam. The downside with Alolan Raticate is we don't really have an attack to finish off what we've used Super Fang on. So for now, we have Chase Up. This allows you to search your deck for any one card. So I'll just get Rare Candy. That's going to ensure that we have an Alakazam set up in our next turn. And maybe start taking knockouts, really, because there's really not much we could do. We can't pick off one of our opponent's Pokemon anymore because we don't have access to Boss Orders or any more Counter Catchers. And that's why it's very important that you use them wisely and make sure you're not just discarding those Boss Orders or Counter Catchers. But my opponent will be able to attack with Torkoal, knocking out our Raticate once more. And all we need is an energy for our Alakazam, and we're probably just gonna take a knockout here. And we need to grab a Panic Mask so that we can survive an attack. I can use a Iono. We can draw 6, but for now I'll just use Lana's aid. And what I could do actually is just reduce my hand here. Hopefully we can draw into the Panic Mask. Yes, we did. Okay, awesome. So now we can protect our Alakazam, and I'm just gonna use Psychic. We're dealing 310 damage. That's insane. 310 damage. And we're gonna take one prize. Alright, we had no choice there. We had to take a prize. And I think this next turn should give us all 5 prizes. If we can move Pidgeot EX's damage counters, we could get 5 prizes. So they're gonna target our Alolan Raticate, getting them 1 prize. Again, what's nice about this is that my opponent is taking only 1 prize at a time, which is really great. So now, what I'm gonna do here is try to set up, in case we fail anything, let me just, before I attack, let me just do everything I can to set up here. We have Reversal Energy for our Alolan Raticate. So let's go ahead and use Strange Hacking, right? We just have to figure this out. So, we definitely need to take out this Charizard and this Charizard. So that's 3. We need 2 more prizes. We can take out this 7 HP Charmander, and then we should have enough to knock out... Hey, alright, we have a lot left over. That's that's 5 prizes right there. Alright, awesome. 2 for Charizard EX, Bibarel, Charizard, and Charmander, getting us 5 prizes. Alright, good game. Alright, on to our next match. We're gonna start this one with Alolan Rattata. We got 2 Buddy Buddy Poffins, so we are in a great... We have a great start. We can start setting up a lot of cards, and unfortunately my opponent won the coin flip and they wanted to go first, and it's fine. Going first is fine, guys. Nothing to worry about. Just gonna set up as much as we can. We only have 1 Bibarel. We got 2 Bibarels. We have 1 in our hands, so it's better to have greater consistency. We can evolve 1, find the other Bibarel, and then we can even evolve into a Pidgeot EX on our next turn and start finding the cards that we need. So in this matchup, we're going against Regidrago VSTAR. This is rising in its glory, I guess, because with the new Teal Mask Ogerpon EX to accelerate those grass energies, they can easily energize Regidrago VSTAR. But that's all they can do is attach an energy, and yeah, we can get 1 card with Pidgeot and then draw more cards with our Bibarel. Just gonna get TM Evolution. Again, I'm just waiting for my opponent to take out one of our Pokemon until we can start using that Reversal Energy. We have time to set up, right? Industrious Incisors, we got Reversal Energy, but Reversal Energy we cannot recover. So I'm thinking of getting just a Psychic Energy, put on our Alolan Rattata, and then I can evolve 2 of our bench Pokemon. So I'll just evolve into Kadabra and into an Alolan Raticate. So now we have 1 that can use Super Fang. We have Reversal Energy. If they end up taking out our Alolan Rattata, we can use Alolan Raticate. There's the Regidrago VSTAR. Can they set this up? So again, one of the greatest challenges with Regidrago VSTAR, it is a very strong Pokemon. Don't get me wrong. It's just a very awkward or very difficult energy requirement to fulfill. You require 1 Fire Energy and 2 Grass Energies for you to attack with it, and then you can copy any attacks of any dragon type that is in your discard pile, regardless of their stage. Even if it's a stage 2, stage 1 basic Pokemon, Regidrago VSTAR can copy any of them. So let's see if my opponent can set up. They need Energy Switch. They probably need Ogerpon to accelerate those energy. There's the Ogerpon, alright. They need Grass Energy to accelerate. And they can still attach for turn. And they have Hawlucha. Okay, Hawlucha. when you put it from your hand to the bench, you can choose 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon and put 1 damage counter to each of them. So they choose Kadabra and Bidoof. Okay, they're gonna accelerate an energy to Ogerpon. Another Regidrago VSTAR will evolve. Professor's research. It doesn't look like they have what they need here. Alright, there's the energy search, or energy switch. And an attachment. Alright. There it is. They can perform an attack, but it really depends on what Pokemon they have in the discard pile. You can attack with Apex Dragon, deal 200 damage, okay. And yeah, there's only one dragon. So they use Gudra V-Star's attack. Hisuian Gudra V-Star's attack. Alright, well, we have Panic Mask. They only have 1 Regidrago V-Star energized, so I'm going to use our A-Spec tool card to prevent any one-hit knockouts. Then we're going to use Iono. Maybe disrupt their hand a little bit. And I'm going to put Panic Mask on Kadabra so they cannot boss either our Pidgeot EX or Kadabra and get a knockout for that. So our Alolan Raticate should be able to survive an attack here. And let's set up as much as we can. Get an Alakazam. Should be able to safely evolve it and not worry about it being knocked out. And then I'll recover these. Those basic energies could be very useful. And then just draw 4 cards with Bibarel. And we're just gonna use Super Fang. Alright, Super Fang. Super Fang will help us avoid any, well, they can damage Alolan Raticate here, but they're not gonna be able to knock it out. Okay, so they're gonna use Iron Bundle to push one of our Pokemon, but we can safely sacrifice our Bidoof unless they have any way to deal bench damage. And maybe they can power up their other Regidrago V-Star. Okay, there's the fire. Energy switch, alright. And they just need 1 more attachment. Yeah, there it is. They have another Regidrago V-Star powered up, and they're using Mew EX's restart ability to draw. Alright, my opponent is just going to attack and knock out our Bidoof. And we have Counter Catcher. Alright, we should be okay. Let's go ahead and target this Regidrago V-Star. Attack it, and we're going to prevent it from knocking out any of our other Pokemon here. I'll just get Alolan Raticate for next. We can evolve this one actually, yeah. Then all we have to do is just use Quick Search, get Reversal Energy to power up our next Raticate if we need to. And then we're just going to use Super Fang, reduce this Regidrago V-Star's HP down to 10. And they have Raging Bolt EX. They have the potential to one-hit knock out any Pokemon in the game. But you know what? They can't knock out our Alolan Raticate. Thanks to our Survival Brace A-Spec card. But they have Prime Catcher. They can target one of our Pokemon. They cannot knock out Pidgeot. They cannot knock out Alakazam. So we are looking pretty good. I am pretty confident with our setup here. And again, that's just one of the drawbacks of Regidrago V-Star. It's just very awkward to set up. You're gonna put Mew EX in the active. They can easily retreat it. They can knock out our Bibarel. But what's great about this is that they're only taking 1 price at a time, and our setup is fully. We're pretty much all set. We just probably need 1 more target here, and then we can spread those damage around, get hopefully all 6 prizes. Okay, they'll knock out our Bibarel. Just put this Alolan Raticate back into the active spot. And Quick Search. for Counter Catcher. And I'm just gonna target their Teal Mask Ogerpon EX. You can also use Roxanne, because my opponent only has 3 or less prizes remaining. And we're just gonna Super Fang this Ogerpon EX, and I think that's it. This should be it, because we only need to put 1 damage counter to each of the Regidrago. That's gonna put this Ogerpon EX's HP down to 180, and we can just transfer all of them to their Mew EX to get 6 prizes. And that's it. We have the energy that we need. We have reversal energy to power up our Alakazam, and we're just gonna use Strange Hacking. Perfect number here, guys. So 1 here, 1 here, and then everything else to Mew EX. Exactly 180 damage will knock out all 6 Pokemon, getting us all 6 prizes. And check this out, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Winning us the game. Good game. Alright, on to our next match. We won the coin flip. Again, I like going second with this build. But looks like we're going to have to mulligan here. And we're going to start with Alolan Rattata. But at least we got Buddy Buddy Poffin, so we could use that next turn. And also a Iono to shuffle our cards and draw more to set up. And it looks like we're going against Dragapult. Dude, I lost a few during my testing with this one. It's just very strong. Dragapult EX can gatekeep you once they set up really quickly. Maybe in their second turn. So I don't know if going second with this one was a good idea. But at least they didn't put any energies on their Dreepy. So we should still be safe for another turn, I'm guessing, if they cannot fully energize a Dragapult EX. So again, you want to try and set up your draw support as much as you can, and all we have is reversal energy, and we're just gonna pass. I am so scared right now. Yeah. So this is one of the best decks in the format right now. They're gonna evolve into Dracloak with the Recon ability, allowing them to look at the top 2 cards of their deck, put 1 in the bottom, and put 1 in their hand. They're going to use Arven. There's a rare candy, and also, what is that called? I keep the switchboard, and that's going to allow them to retreat this Rotom V. But no, they're just going to draw. All right. But at least, even though they evolve into a Dragapult EX, there's still no energies around. So I'm feeling a little bit confident, but not quite. Our setup is still a long way from being perfect or from being good. So let me just I think what I'm gonna try and do is just fill my bench with as much basic Pokemon as I can. That way my opponent will, I don't know, get confused as to which Pokemon they want to knock out, ensuring the survivability of the other Pokemon that we need for this this matchup. So I'm going to use TM Evolution because I need my Pokemon to survive a damage spread from their Dragapult if they manage to attack. Because Dragapult can attack for 200 in the active spot and then also put 6 damage counters to our bench Pokemon in any way they like. At least if we get a chance, if we reduce their Dragapult EX's HP down to just 10, and if we have Panic Mask, they should not be able to damage our active at least. Then all we have to do is try and evolve as much Alolan Raticate as we can so that it can survive those damage counters that they spread on our bench Pokemon. But again, I'm also hoping that they take out our Alolan Rattata. With just 1 energy, they can attack for 70. Take it out, and that's going to give us a chance, or an opening at least, to reduce one of their Dragapult EX's HP, reduced to just 10. Preventing any damage done to our active. Okay. They're gonna attach the board on their Rotom V, reducing its retreat cost by 1 so they can retreat it anytime. That would have been a good target though, to reduce its HP, but again, we don't have energies on our Pokemon yet, and they're stalling as well. They're stalling. So this is not good. I'll just try and evolve as much Alolan Raticate as I can, I guess. And I can evolve this. Although if they boss Alakazam, they could just knock it out, because they are hitting for 200 damage. Alright, so with Iono, we got a basic Psychic. Let me just use Quick Search real quick, and let's see what we got here. I guess I could get, we got 1 Reversal Energy left. So we gotta use our energies sparingly, guys. We don't want to waste it. We have 2 in our hand and 2 in our deck. That's it. But what I could do is use Hyper Fang here, take a chance, deal 50. I could use that as a leverage to move damage around, but we failed it. You have to flip a coin and flip heads to be able to use Hyper Fang and deal 50. So yeah, Alolan Rattata is just really weak. 40 HP, really easy to knock out, and a 50% chance of success with its attack. Okay, so now my opponent's Dragapult EX is fully energized, but I'm happy that we were able to evolve as much of our Pokemon as we can. That means we can survive a few turns here. Alright, they're gonna knock out Alolan Rattata, put 6 damage counters to our Alolan Raticate, but that's okay. We're gonna put that in the active spot. We're gonna use it to reduce this Dragapult EX's HP and hopefully prevent it from knocking out our active. We can even use Counter Catcher next turn and use Super Fang against their other Dragapult EX. So for now, we are protected from their attack. They can spread damage, but we should be safe. And we're just going to use Super Fang, putting 31 damage counters to their Dragapult EX. Ooh, they also have the Ace Pack card that counts as 2 energies of every type when it is attached to a Stage 2 Pokemon. So with just a single attachment, they power up their Dragapult EX, but they're just gonna pass. Thankfully, we have Counter Catcher to target this one. And now we have 2 Dragapults with 310 damage. And it's just a matter of time. We just gotta figure out how we're gonna spread this so that we can get all 6 prizes in a single turn. So right now, Rotom V is definitely a target, but also Pidgeot EX. Hey, alright, so we could... We're getting there. As long as they don't boss my Alakazam, we should be okay. Because their attacks will not be able to knock out... That's exactly what I was afraid of, but they are gonna boss my Alakazam, 200 damage, and knock out our Alolan Raticate with damage counters. So unfortunately, that Panic Mask does not work against effects of attacks. We're gonna get 2 prizes. We got Alolan Raticate, and what I could do here is boss their Pidgeot EX. That's fine. They still need 3 prizes to win this game, right? And what I need to do is be able to set up 2 Abras, because they can just continue to gatekeep if we put 1 Abra at a time. So what I need to do is recover another Abra, put 2 Abras with Buddy Buddy Poffin, and then now my opponent will just be able to knock out 1 unless they boss an Abra and then take out both at the same time. So I think that's the best move for my opponent. I mean, they have Pidgeot EX. They could definitely just find what they need. They've only used 1 boss order, so if they have another boss orders, I think that is the best action that they could they could do, but they have Lost Vacuum. That's gonna remove our Panic Mask. And yeah, as long as we survive this turn, I think we got it. I think we got this. They're gonna attack our Alolan Raticate. I think we got this. We just need rare candy. We can use Pidgeot EX to find it, and yeah, they can only take out one Abra. All right. All right. All right, let's do this. We gotta make sure we do this correctly, guys. Got another Ultra Ball. Quick Search. Rare Candy. Use Ultra Ball. Discard these two. Let me discard this. And then get Alakazam. Evolve this. Attach Basic Energy. And then... yeah, let's go ahead and Roxanne. That's fine. Counter Catcher. We're gonna do Strange Hacking. I think we got this. 6 prizes, guys. Are you ready? Alright, 1 to each of these Dragapult. And we have enough to put 190 damage to their Rotom V. There it is. And then Pidgeot EX can just keep these. And guess what? Look at this, guys. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good game. And that's it for the video. Thank you all so much for watching the Popsicleknight channel, and until next time, please stay safe and have a great day.